So, Bap, we were talking about Cory Booker and his betrayal of the Democratic Party and all the people who I think see him as some type of champion in refusing to allow for drug importation from Canada. But let's talk about a little bit about what Bernie Sanders had going on with the Our Revolution's Our First Fight, Our First Stand, I should say, where you had rallies organized by Bernie Sanders and like-minded folk, Our Revolution, across the country, scaring the heck out of Republican lawmakers when it came to the Affordable Care Act repeal. And the Republicans are in a bit of a box here because Donald Trump is going out there shooting his mouth off without knowing any of the details, promising things that would be great if he delivers, frankly, but basically writing checks that the Republican Party can't cash. And so they're completely confused as to where to go next. And it's a fascinating development.
Yeah, it is. There's fascinating on so many levels. First of all, that Bernie Sanders is doing what he said he was going to do.
Yep.
He promised that he wasn't going to go away. He promised that he's going to keep the discussions about things like health care alive. He's doing it. He's one of these few politicians that, when he says something, Sam, you can really believe it. He does it. And here's what I find interesting about it. Just weeks ago, when we had the Republicans and Democrats, not just Republicans and Democrats trying to gut the ethics committee, okay? Mm-hmm. What changed their mind was political outrage. Everybody in the streets, just total outrage. It wasn't in the streets, but it was in social media, and they embarrassed the Democrats and the Republicans who were trying to make it to where there is no ethics. There's no such thing as an ethics violation anymore. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. Then we have the Cory Booker issue where he's lying we see him as a fraud, and he's committing fraud, and social media is responding, and it'll continue picking up heat there. Now we have the health care issue that all of this, if you go back and think about it, has been driven by what Bernie Sanders has made his pledge, keeping this revolution alive. To say there is no Democrat that's correct. There is no Democratic hero. There's no Republican hero. We simply have to call balls and strikes. And right now, that's what's happening with Bernie in the health care fight. I mean, this could pick up real momentum.
Yeah, and it's good. And certainly, I think the Republicans are they're chasing their own tail. We've got Health and Human Services, Tom Price, this past week said that he has not shared his plan. He doesn't want to flaunt his plan in his hearings, and simultaneously, the administration claiming that they have not included him in their plans to redesign or supposedly replace the Affordable Care Act. But just absurd.
But he's out there saying insurance for everyone. Two cars in every garage.
Hey, listen, if we have insurance for everybody and deductibles are low, it's real insurance. God bless.
God bless him. He will never go away as a great American leader if that happens.
Indeed. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about some parting gifts that President Obama left for Donald Trump. One was the NSA basically allowed for, via executive action, my understanding, that the NSA can now share raw intelligence across the spectrum of intelligence agencies just in time for Donald Trump and his organization to take over. But that's not all. Tell us about this NDAA
Oh my God,
provision.
that's nothing compared to what Obama did 2 nights before Christmas while you were out drinking eggnog. Hopefully with, drinking eggnog or maybe asleep. You had Obama by executive order, signing into law something that is Section 2349 of the it's the Defense Authorization Bill, which it gives money to the defense. Okay, so we can pay for military. So what he did is created what is nothing less than a ministry of propaganda, where what they do is they have the right to spend, the Department of Defense, Sam, has the right to spend $60 million spreading it out among people in social media, that will attack anybody who has a criticism of government. In other words, RT is a great example. I do a show on RT called America's Lawyer. So if I say something about Wall Street, this Ministry of Propaganda has the right to come after me, spend money with places like maybe the Washington Post or Huffington Post or wherever they want to spend the money to do a hit story on me. They've already done it with Ed Schultz. They've done it with Tom Hartman. So we're going to start seeing it more and more. But Obama gave us that, Sam. Obama signed it just in time for Trump to take over. Now, he hasn't said one word about it, not one word, but I urge everybody, go online and look at this. Just look up Obama's Ministry of Propaganda. You will be shocked. He knew what he was doing. He's a constitutional lawyer himself, taught constitutional law. He just says what we're going to do is allow the government to engage in propaganda, and we're going to make the decision on what's acceptable and is not acceptable about what somebody says about the U.S. government or Wall Street or pharmaceutical industry or fracking or whatever it may be. They're going to make the choice, and they're going to. My prediction is a lot of money is going to go to the Washington Post. A lot of it's going to go to Huffington Post. A lot of it's going to go to any Amazon, anything that Bezos is involved with, because Bezos, as you know, has a huge government contract on computer security. So we're going to see all kinds of ugly things coming out of this. That's something that's part of Obama's legacy, and I'm not going to let that go. I'll be talking about that all of 2017, reminding this guy what he did in his last days in office.